He was almost out of the league. A rising talent who nearly lost everything to addiction, suspended, forgotten, and spiraling. But against all odds, he fought his way back, not only to reclaim his life, but to earn a spot as one of the best tight ends in football. This is the story of Darren Waller, how he went from rock bottom to the Pro Bowl. Before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story from NFL Spotlight. We dig deep into the moments that define the game, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. It's easy to look at Darren Waller today and see only the success. A Pro Bowl tight end, one of the most reliable pass catchers in the league, a man admired by fans, teammates, and coaches. But what most people do unsee is the battle behind the helmet, the fight of his life that nearly ended his career before it even started. This isn't just a football story. It's a story of redemption, of survival, of a man who faced his demons head-on and won. Let's rewind. Darren Waller's football journey began with promise. A 6 feet 6 inches receiver out of Georgia Tech. He had size, speed, and raw potential. In 2015, the Baltimore Ravens took him in the 6th round of the NFL draft. For a young player, it should have been the start of something incredible. But while Waller was chasing his dream, something darker was chasing him. Addiction. Waller has been open about his struggles with drugs and alcohol. It didn't start in the NFL. It started much earlier, as a teenager experimenting, trying to escape, trying to fill a void he couldn't explain. By the time he reached the league, the problem was already there, lurking in the background. At first, it seemed manageable. He played, he practiced, he tried to keep it together. But addiction has a way of catching up. By his 2nd season in the league, Waller was already in trouble. In 2016, he was suspended 4 games for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. For many, that would be a wake-up call. But for Waller, it was just the beginning of a downward spiral. The following year, things got worse. The NFL suspended him for the entire 2017 season. A whole year gone. He was banned from the game he loved. Out of sight, out of mind. For most players, a year away from the league is a career death sentence. But for Darren Waller, it was almost a literal death sentence. He's admitted that during that time, his addiction hit its lowest point. Pills lean. Whatever he could find to numb himself. Football was slipping away. But more importantly, so was his life. There's one story that stands out. Waller has spoken about overdosing in his car in 2017. Alone and broken. His dream of playing in the NFL hanging by a thread. That moment could have been the end. It could have been another tragic story of talent wasted and a life cut short. But here's where Darren Waller's story changes. That overdose became his turning point. He realized he couldn't keep living like this. He entered rehab. He faced his addiction head-on, choosing recovery over destruction. It wasn't easy, and recovery never is. It's not just about stopping the substance. It's about confronting the pain underneath, rebuilding your identity, and learning how to live again. For Darren Waller, that process was grueling. But it saved him. When he returned to football in 2018, he wasn't the same person. He was focused, clear-eyed, determined not just to play the game again, but to live a life worth living. The Baltimore Ravens gave him another shot, but opportunity in the NFL is ruthless. Roster spots are limited. Mistakes aren't forgotten easily. Waller barely saw the field. And then came the Raiders. In 2018, the Oakland Raiders, now the Las Vegas Raiders, signed him off the Ravens practice squad. At first, he was just another name on the roster, but something had changed. Waller wasn't just playing for a paycheck anymore. He was playing for redemption. By 2019, everything clicked. He made the switch from wide receiver to tight end, and it was like he was born for the position. His size, speed, and hands made him a mismatched nightmare for defenses. That season, he caught 90 passes for over 1,100 yards. People started asking, where did this guy come from? But the truth is, he didn't just come from nowhere. He came from rock bottom. 2020 cemented his arrival. Waller posted career-high numbers, racking up 107 receptions, nearly 1,200 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He wasn't just good, he was elite. The NFL couldn't ignore him anymore. That year, he earned his first Pro Bowl selection. Think about that for a second. From a 1-year suspension for substance abuse, to a Pro Bowl, from nearly losing his life in a car, to becoming one of the league's most feared tight ends. That's not just a comeback. That's a miracle. And what makes Darren Waller's story even more powerful is how he uses his platform. He doesn't hide his past. He doesn't pretend it never happened. Instead, he speaks openly about addiction, mental health, and recovery. He shares his story to inspire others, to show that no matter how far you've fallen, it's never too late to get back up. He started the Darren Waller Foundation, dedicated to supporting young people who struggle with addiction. For him, it's about more than football. It's about saving lives. This is why Darren Waller's story hits so hard, because how many people do you know who are battling demons no one else can see? How many are told they're finished, that they'll never recover, that they'll never amount to anything? Waller's journey proves them wrong. He shows that redemption is possible, that setbacks don't define you, that even when you're counted out, you can come back stronger than ever. And let's be clear, Darren Waller isn't just a guy who recovered, he's a star. He's one of the best tight ends in the game. Coaches game plan around him. Defenses fear him, fans cheer for him. Not just because of what he does on the field, but because of what he represents off of it. Now, let's pause for a second. If Darren Waller's story inspires you, drop a comment below. Share your favorite comeback story in NFL history. We'll feature some in future episodes. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Because Darren Waller's journey isn't just about football. It's about life. Think about how close he came to losing everything. One more overdose. One more bad decision. One more suspension. And we'd never know Darren Waller, the Pro Bowler. We'd only know Darren Waller, the tragedy. But instead, he flipped the script. He rewrote his story. From suspended to celebrated. From forgotten to unstoppable. From broken to a Pro Bowler. And here's the lesson for all of us. No matter how low you fall, you can rise again. It doesn't matter what mistakes you've made, or how many people have counted you out. As long as you're still breathing, there's a chance to turn it around. Darren Waller is living proof. So the next time you hear his name called on Sundays, remember what it took to get there. Remember the overdoses, the suspensions, the year away from the league, and then remember the Pro Bowls, the highlight catches, and the way he's using his platform to help others. That's not just a football career. That's a redemption arc. If this story moved you, do me a favor. Share this video with someone who's going through a tough time. Sometimes, one story of hope can change everything. And if you want more powerful journeys like Darren Waller's, make sure you subscribe to NFL Spotlight. We've got more untold stories of struggle, redemption, and greatness coming soon. Darren Waller almost lost it all, but he didn't. He fought back. He won. And today, he stands not just as a Pro Bowl tight end, but as proof that no matter how dark it gets, there's always a way back to the light.